What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the BlockHash Podcast, your number one resource for all that is happening across emerging tech. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you listen to or watch the show. Today, I'm joined by Nicolas, co-founder and COO of Diio. Diio is a SaaS company that enhances sales by automating key meeting insights, tracking commitments, streamlining CRM workflows, and much more. We're going to dive into everything Diio can and will be able to do for you today here in this episode. Nicolas, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you on. How you doing?
Hello, how are you? Thanks for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. The pleasure's all mine. Excited to dive in and learn more about what Diio is capable of, especially in the realm of sales. To get things underway, I'm sure people would love to know a little bit more about yourself, maybe your backstory and what kind of sparked your interest in, sales generally and AI and, this kind of crossroads that they intertwine with.
Sure. Well, I'm a Chilean entrepreneur. I am an electrical engineer. I've been an entrepreneur all my professional life. I got out of university and started building devices for, for tracking planes, tracking mining company assets. And I started pivoting and built a company that's called Beetrack, which was a company that made asset tracking through an application, mainly proof of delivery. Okay, we managed that company for I think like 8 years until it got acquired by an American company, and I stayed like 2 more years in there, but I always saw a problem and an issue on the sales team, which was mainly that technology wasn't like coming up to date on what could be done. Um, Usually the tools the state of the art that was built for sales team was very useful, but the backfire of using sales tools was that you're using a tool that's cutting time of your day, right? So every tool you use in the sales world is a tool that's usually taking time of your day, which could be used for selling. In the advancements of technology, especially Gen AI and LLMs, we saw an opportunity with my partner Paulo in building an assistant, something that gives you time back so you can focus on what you do better, which is sell, right? So that's why in Dio we say let them sell. We want to make uh, salespersons more efficient, give them time back so they can sell more and better, and give them like valuable insight on what could and what should done better in order to improve the company's revenue. That's the way in which we got to the idea.
Okay, cool. And that I imagine is the main problem that Diio is aiming to solve, right? Kind of making that sales process streamlined and a lot easier.
Yeah, well, we started like a tool or an assistant for salespersons, but we've been like widening our approach and becoming a organization wide assistant which gathers information of all the areas, all the processes in a company, and uses that information to help the company sell more. Usually through the sales persons, but the idea is like gathering this technology, making the salesperson work more efficient, but also giving visibility to managers and also gathering all the useful information in order to hire better, minimize the ramp up of new salesmen, having a knowledge base that's useful for all the organization, and basically giving the company the tools in an easy to access manner in which they can um, use it for basically sell more.
What is this information that Diio is able to capture and then analyze and interpret? What does that kind of look like generally?
Yeah, well, we start first by gathering all the information that's being recorded or shared in meetings. We also integrate with this different CRM systems, so we can get also information of your um, conversations with your customers through email. We also integrate with WhatsApp, so we can get the information of your conversations with your customers through WhatsApp, which is something like that's very popular here in Latin America. We also, I don't know, like we're working in a lot of like uh, points of communication between the I don't know, like the salespersons, the customer support agents, or uh, any person in the company, which customers or which with potential customers, in which we could get that information, like feed it into the system and structure it in a way in which we could access it like in an intelligent way, right? So that's the like the first way in which we gather information. We also gather information through information that's shared by our clients as knowledge-based information, like documents or um, selling strategies or that kinds of stuff, like playbooks, and also information that's generally available, like in the internet, like news from I don't know, like a company that you're going to meet. You can see that, for example, they kind of like they raised money, so you have some context to get to the meeting and have some like kind of like uh, talking topics with the counterpart, so they can see that you're getting like up to date with that meeting and you're getting informed, and you become like more more like closer to the customer you're talking.
Okay, that makes sense. And then these integrations you mentioned, WhatsApp, which is pretty cool, Zoom, Google Meets. I imagine CRM platforms as well, like HubSpot, Salesforce. The more integrations that Dio has, does that make it better necessarily? Because it can see like the entire sales flow for a client and what happened here and what happened there.
Yeah, it makes it makes it like more it makes it like wiser. Yeah, not necessarily more intelligent, but it gets more knowledge on what the company does, or the relation between the company and their customers. But Dio can also function as a standalone solution. Obviously, the more information we have, the better that we're going to give you an analysis on what you're doing, or what your customers are doing, but we can still work as a standalone solution.
Okay, cool. And then it kind of plays into my next question, but it has a little bit to do with like continuous learning. Like, does it have the ability to continue to improve its ability to generate solutions in terms of sales, like over time, like as it gets a better idea of what your process is and how your company operates, or how you move clients through your idolized sales funnel? Like, is it able to offer better recommendations and things on how to do it better, like with all that information over time? And because everyone's got like a different process, it's not always straightforward. So it does have that ability though, right?
Yeah, of course. We have like a special model that's called Spark, that feeds on all the information, like the historic information that you are gathering with Dio, with your CRM or whatever, and it gets out like structured data based on, for example, something that's contextual to a conversation, to a doubt or something. It also gets like query like information from this same model, and all this information is fed into future or current interactions in order to enhance what Dio is going to propose and give Dio a better context on what he's doing like day to day, but having like all the context and all the history of the things that you are doing in the past. So that's correct.
And then do you have any use cases, some examples maybe with clients where Dio has performed really well, or a client has saw a lot of success come out of using Dio, like to kind of give an example of Dio kind of in action in terms of optimizing and making these likelihood for conversions better?
Yeah, sure. We have all kinds of experiences. If going from the more tangible ones to some that are more romantic. For example, a customer of us said in a testimony that she's in love with Dio, which is something like really cool. Like it it makes us feel that we're fulfilling with one of our objectives, that you must feel like a teammate, someone that is that is trying to help you. So that's like some good feedback on what we're doing. Like it gives us that security. And we have some also other customers that, well, have seen increases in sales that are like between like 5 and 7%. We have seen customers that have improved even more. What's more like measurable in this is the time that is being saved to the to salespersons, because they don't have to like fill out the CRM or do some tedious work they did before. Dio is doing that for them, so they can log out of a meeting and step like back into a meeting like right away, instead of spending, I don't know, like 15-20 minutes like gathering that information and filling the CRM. So basically that's a 20% improvement in productivity. If you are having like 5 meetings a day, you can fit it in a sixth one. So it improves your productivity, and it also improves your aim, right? Like it gives you valuable feedback, so you can focus on the deals that are hot and improve your close rate.
Who would you say Dio is more designed for? Is it designed for the smaller startup entrepreneur that's trying to get a competitive advantage when it comes to sales? Or is it better for a large enterprise company that's doing things in really high volume and maybe they're trying to optimize to save on the money and the process and the time? Or is it kind of for both?
Well, that's a good question. We're focused on everyone. We have a starter plan, which is focused on small companies with a small amount of executives, um, and also we have customers with hundreds of salespersons, right? So it's really a solution that could fit like many needs, from small teams that are basically like I don't know, like rogue salespersons, like they like act on their own, to big structured teams with different kind of operations and different teams that are logging into the same account and seeing different information depending on the access level they have. So we have a solution that could fit like any need in that sense.
How do you imagine the future of AI, kind of shaping what sales look like going forward? I imagine it will have, tremendous benefits. I've talked to a few people on this topic in the past already, just because it's so fascinating what AI can do in terms of intercompany optimization as a whole. But specifically for sales, I imagine that that threshold for being able to close a sale and or get a lead in or have a successful follow up or even an upsell might be a lot higher, simply because AI can optimize at a rate that a human has a much harder time of doing. But just curious from your own line of work and own line of thought, what direction maybe this will take us at some point. Will we just continue to get closer and closer to 100% optimization one day? Will it take us in a different direction? Will it just revolutionize how we do sales? What do you think?
It's funny you ask, because I see a lot of fear in the future of AI. Like people are like very scared of AI like replacing them. And I see in some way that in some kind of selling, like mostly like retail selling, that could be a reality. But on the other hand, on consultative sales, we're betting the farm that AI is going to help and empower and improve people performance rather than replace them. AI cannot take a commitment with a person. It will not take like a decision to do something for the sake of closing a deal, for example. That or it cannot commit to something. So we don't see a future in which AI is going to replace salesmen on a consultative sales, but we don't see also a future in which companies are not using a solution such as Dio. So we're like building a solution in which companies that use Dio sell more, and companies that don't sell more. That's simple. So we are basically trying to build that future, and in that case, like companies um, will need a solution like Dio to in order to stay alive, to continue with their growth, with their more like demanding deadlines that they have like nowadays. So basically, we see a good future for good salesmen, and and we see a good future for companies that are adopting this kind of technologies soon.
And what do you think about the future for Dio itself? How do you imagine it evolving over time? Like, do you think it can step into a larger role in terms of taking on a sale? Or do you have a predefined direction that you want it to go in terms of how it assists in that process? Or what is Dio's future as it grows up?
Yeah, we define Dio as like Alfred for Batman. So Alfred won't go out like kicking ass everywhere. Like he will make sure that the Batmobile and all the weapons are like up to speed. So when Batman arrives, like he goes and he shines. That's the salesman. Dio will do a very good work, like helping Batman do his job, but he won't step in. So we don't see a tool that's going to replace a salesman. Talking about consultative sales, but we see a future in which we could integrate Spark in a better way and make it more useful for take business decisions, like simple decisions, more in the line of organizing information and also. Uh, Giving that information back to managers or to salesmen in order for them to have it handy and have it at hand so they can like close better deals faster and sell more. So we're committed to our mission, which is make companies sell more, but we will see uh, a protagonism of Spark like heavily in the future. Like we see this model like answering very complex questions and giving like a lot of valuable insight. So the company can take them and act better. And we would like to take a step forward and be more proactive in that aspect. Like we don't want to wait for a person to ask us what they need, what they want, what they need, but we want to be there with the information before they know it. Like when you are thirsty, we want to be there at your side with a glass of water.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to put it. Like the Alfred to Batman, the Robin to Batman. It's a good way to look at it going forward. And obviously, it will never probably replace an actual salesperson, but it can be something that is incredibly beneficial in terms of again optimizing that sale and getting it over the finish line for most people. Um, What do you guys have coming up this year in terms of maybe announcements or launches? Anything on the roadmap for Diio, as well as will you guys be attending any conferences, any events, speaking engagements, things will we be talking about Diio more in person or online? What's on the horizon here?
Yeah, we I'd say like the main actor this year is Spark. We're heavily working on that because it will be like the brains behind Deal. It will help us like generate better reports, uh, engage in better conversations, give better insight, and a lot of features that will depend on it being smarter. So I'd say like that's like the big the big deal this year. We are right now in like in a closed beta with Spark with some customers, and until now, we have received like a lot of valuable feedback. There are some things that obviously need to be like tweaked a little bit, but but I'd say like that's the main deal this year, and we're fully committed to getting out this brain that will help us like build like the Google Maps of sales.
Where can people go if they want to get started with Diio today? Do they just go to the website, sign up for a subscription, start integrating it into their stack and their platforms? What's the process?
Yeah, sure. They should go to dio.com, like diio.com/start. There they can open a starter account, and they can use the code BlockHash, and they will get a 90% off their first month. So uh, for your listeners to try Dio.
Love it. Guys, go use code BlockHash, get a discount, try out Diio. You're gonna love it. I'm gonna try it too. It sounds really cool. I love how well it integrates with all these things, especially for messaging like WhatsApp. Any plan for like integrating like something like Telegram in the future as well, or just regular SMS?
There are some surprises coming soon. I don't want to get I don't want to get ahead of it because it's a very popular tool used in sales, and there it will be a big surprise for our users.
Okay. Well, let us know when the surprise goes public. I'm sure people would love to know about it as well. But keep us up to date on everything. And Nicholas, this has been great. Really do appreciate it. Where do you guys have your socials? Are you on LinkedIn? Do you have any community as well? Do you have like a Telegram or Discord where people can find some support groups? Where's all the additional places people can go?
Sure, we have communities in LinkedIn, like Diocom is the handle. Let me uh, confirm that, but I'd say like yeah, it's Diocom, and also on same like Dios underscore com on Instagram, and but mainly I'd say like LinkedIn is the place. We also have some communities through WhatsApp, which is for revenue leaders in Latin America. It's a very popular group. So, and people can write me at nicolas@dio.com, and I would be happy to uh, like add them to our communities or give them more information also.
Awesome. Nicholas, I appreciate it. We'll put all the links and information in the description for the episode below so everyone can easily find everything. If you're in Colombia at all at any point in time, let me know. I know it's not too far from where you're at. Maybe we can do an in-person episode at some point. I think that'd be a lot of fun, maybe for like a part two in the near future when you have some more updates that are coming out. But in the meantime, man, keep us updated. Really do appreciate the conversation, and looking forward to trying Diio myself as well.
Sure, I'd love to have a in-person episode. And thanks for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take care, man. Have a great day, and we'll be in touch.